Let me introduce you to Arslanbeck Ruslanovich Makhmudov.
A fighter born for the
June
end.
7th, 1989, at the height of the Tyson era in boxing. To this day, he recognizes himself as a professional Russian fighter who held the heavyweight title of the World Boxing Council. North American boxing rankings between 2019 and 2023. Even so, he's no ordinary fighter. His height of nearly 2 meters gives him an armor in the ring that very few fighters have managed to penetrate. 20 fights so far.
I have won a total of 18.
Made by knockout, and he has been defeated only once.
The gentleman's face turns red because it's the speed. It's the difference in speed.
Surprising, right? Today's video invites you to stay until the end to get an in-depth look at the life and work of Arslanbeck Makhmudov. Fashion. Then I
Watch
met you.
it. You'll have
The
a
new star to admire. Early years Arslanbek.
born in the city of most.
Dark Ossetia of the North, in the heart of your Kumi family. Fun fact, Kumyk is a Durgic ethnic group living in Dagestan, Chechnya, and North Ossetia. They are the largest Turkic people in the North Caucasus. Russian State University of Physical Education, Sport, Youth, and Tourism. When he decided to start his amateur career, he quickly noticed how fate had set him up to succeed. Different levels of success in discipline.
Act for the Boca team.
BOXER or Dynamo conceded Moscow and won the European Student Championship.
That would be
The point of no return for Arslanbek that would lead him to an almost flawless professional career till now. Professional career? Arslanbek made his professional debut on December 8, 2017, achieving a technical knockout victory in the first round over James Barajas at the Dance Floor Music Hall in Toronto, Canada. Their aggressiveness in the fighting ring made it clear that he would win. No doubt about it. Tell the chef. 1 second.
Pyro after Desamo's death.
Only Barajas had to swallow the bitter pill
from the situation. But it
the
wasn't.
one and only. The following companions are back.
Arslanbek can also be considered real.
Watch the unfortunate scenarios for his rivals.
Octulo 4B.
Victories by knockout in 2018. He managed to defeat Christian Lorando with a technical knockout in April. His next victim was Hernandez in May. Happy with that, it will be you, the best one,
had to-
Carlos Caro in October. And probably the one who had the toughest time was Andrew Sutherfield, who was permanently sidelined.
Mentally with someone warm in November. Arslanbek in highway.
2019 with Good Morning. His list of casualties in the ring seemed to only grow with first-round technical knockout victories over Jason Bergman in January. But here there are sidewalks that are in March. But when you start to show a good streak to picky fate, it places challenges on your path that every fighter must overcome to establish himself in the discipline. Arslanbek fought for his first professional title against Jonathan Rice on May 17, 2019, at the Montreal Casino. Once in the ring, Makhmudov was able to capture the vacant WBC Continental America's heavyweight title by technical knockout against Rice in the 10th round. See you next
Arslanbek
time.
had great control of the fight.
Vindat Selinistro.
I'm
Fix
working
how
in
it
the little
looks.
body combinations that
Without
Yes.
a doubt, they hurt Rice from the beginning. Lloyd seemed to keep smiling on him when he won his second regional championship, the World Boxing Council heavyweight title, the North American Boxing
not to
Federation.
get technical about it.
Third round against
Leon Fernandez on September 28, 2019 at the Montreal Casino, right?
He managed to show them bit by bit.
Three really bad guys, you know?
Despite being a
Fight
bit-
for the
it
title.
looks similar.
Already a challenger daring to threaten the crown of his monarch. It
Hooray,
wasn't difficult
George.
for Arslanbek in the short term, just enough to
He increased the distance, turned the fighting ring into a
massacre and forcing the referee to stop the match before it ended in the third.
iconic episode.
This great victory marked the beginning of his official title defenses for the World Boxing Council and the North American Boxing Federation. His first challenger was none other than a former world champion, Samuel Peter. He was crowned by the World Boxing Council in 2008 after stopping Oleg Maskayev. Extreme excesses. It was Makhmudov's last test to end 2019 on a high note, and on December 6 at the Rindelbelt Central in Montreal, he triumphed. All expectations. Arslan couldn't retain his title after a mishap in Ikonab.
First round.
Even though
I had history and
See you in a bit.
experience.
That day, he found the right way to neutralize the Russian's sadistic offense. As a result, he soon exposed himself and fell victim to some of its lethal blows. Makhmudov Freddy's.
your second defense on October 10, 2020.
Even though the COVID-19 pandemic had us all worried,
See you in the next
the
video.
least of Dalon Karman's worries. For Karman,
Who kept his farts of
up until that night, the Russian machine Arslanbeck Makhmudov was unstoppable. Arslanbek showed
The times changed up.
Spring, you hadn't cooled down the muscles. In fact, it seemed he had only been fueling his hunger to win, and when they finally had prey in front of them, they took advantage of every second in the fight against the king. The Russian champion reaffirmed his crown by winning this match by technical knockout in the first round. Was the beast back? That was the general thought in the venue when he stopped Karman in just 27 seconds. Having just started the fight, without a doubt he was giving off a bit of my Tyson vibes at his best. After the sound of the bell, Karman attempted to face Arslanbek. But his stance quickly changed when he realized that it was a real deadly machine with a Russian seal approaching him. It was probably this change in perception of their champion that caused their rapid downfall. There was another football
Important
jump.
time as
He
Arslanbek.
returned to the boxing ring on July 23rd, 2021.
At that time, he didn't just have to defend
To
himself.
see subtitles once again from the World Boxing Council and the
Home of
Federal.
Boxing American.
It would also be fighting for the vacant heavyweight title of the World Boxing Association and the North American Boxing Association. Once again, the urge to unleash his fury in the heat of the fight made Arslanbek's hunger for victory be thwarted. On this occasion,
Their victim was none other than the Pope.
BOXER, who paid a high price for using the Russian monarch's crown.
Arslanbek achieved a swift victory in the chest.
Round 1. Once the bell rang, the fight began. His firm stance was undeniable. Sir tried to confront him, but his intentions were quickly neutralized. It didn't seem like much time had passed when a sinister right straight surprised Zerg, stopping him
You'll
definitively.
see, you screwed me over.
The next! Oh, Dallas's patriotism who has
And indeed, only 37 seconds elapsed from the start of the bout to Arslanbek's victory by knockout. Once he could incorporate new gems into his crown, the Russian monarch was forced to face a new line of defenses. Without any fear, Erkan Teper was the first challenger to the champion. Teper is a professional German boxer who won the European heavyweight title in 2050. But the European Boxing Union revoked it after he tested positive in a doping control. With a height of 195 centimeters, it seems like this kingdom's warrior has the armor needed to face a formidable machine like Arslanbek. But all of this was only noticeable in theory. The meeting took place on September 23, 2021, and Teper would join the club of failed fighters who couldn't make it past the first round against Arslanbek. But this time, it would have been by his own choice. From the sound of the opening bell, Arslanbek appeared dominant.
As they tried to calm offensive Latinos,
There will be a Russian.
but it seemed like not all paths.
They were taking us to Rome, actually.
There were many times they noticed you.
Ditto on the same strategies he plotted at the moment. motivated by the high level of pressure Arslanbek put on him.
When the assault ended, everyone expected Tepe to come back later,
Berakas.
but the best perspective was to heed his
He
advice.
faces the champion. However, the
He
victory
should be another Goddard
also
by
after
knockout.
Teperse refused to fight another jump.
And a new
Way
one.
to reach victory for the Russian, but without a doubt
You
his
validated it.
intimidating stance in the ring.
Mariusz Wach is the
I
name.
challenge the next fighter on the craft victim
See you next
list.
time.
Wach is a well-known Polish boxer.
What? In 2012, he competed once for the unified heavyweight titles of the World Boxing Association, International Boxing Federation, World Boxing Organization, or the International Health Organization.
Boxing, let's smile.
No one else, right?
Famous Bloody Klitschko. Of course, he did not match up to the Ukrainian boxer, losing by unanimous decision to Klitschko at the end of the scheduled rounds. Almost 10 years later, I have decided,
February 1st,
guys,
2023,
you
if you haven't
know,
given him a
another
gift.
chance at the World Boxing Council, North American Boxing Federation titles, and the World Boxing Procession, North American Boxing Association against Arslanbek. Match managed to position himself as a good fighter, despite not achieving victory. He managed to counter many of Arslanbek's attacks during the early rounds of the fight, but inevitably, as the rounds progressed, he lost. Safe control. They came from poverty to win the fight by technical knockout in Holy Six.
Subscribe and hit the bell.
On September 16, 2022, another defense took Arslanbek to VA for his throne, this time against Carlos Takhan. In 2017, he had already challenged the unified heavyweight titles of the World Boxing Association and the International Boxing Federation and the International Boxing Organization, besides as an amateur, having represented Cameroon in the 2004 Olympic Games. Besides the title Arslanbek already had, a new environment was added.
Pressure level when leaving the vacant heavyweight title of the Silver Championship of the World Boxing Council on the table.
Cleanly, Arslanbek managed to win this fight by unanimous decision. After that, he was expected to make his seventh defense against the undefeated Rafael Akpehori on December 16th, 2022.
But,
Akpehori withdrew from the fight a month before
Supposedly, he preferred a fight
with a
with
different opponent, like his
Prentice Gautama.
Michael Wallish, who lost his shot at the titles due to a brutal first-round technical knockout. Destiny seems to be setting up Arslanbeck Makhmudov to write his name in the
elections have been
the
nearby.
history of the discipline.
Next to the other
The
one.
greatest. But he's so finicky that next year could be
On
the
your
year
part.
of his downfall.
So to have what it takes to make a career of Don Juan,
What a
is that
mess.
why you haven't enjoyed
His
it?
best moment in the discipline? Leave me your opinion in the comments. If you made it this far, thank you.
Remember, there's no better way
Support my content by leaving your like on the video.
That has been the
And
campaign.
dreaded of this fight.